is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Shaka here all week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Thank you.
Good for
Very
you.
reserved for that intro you got.
I was expecting it because he always gives that to me, so.
I like it when you're only here once or twice a week, then I do it.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
kinda getting stale.
It is getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I should pull back a little bit. Just drop in here and there. Yeah.
Or I should. One or the other.
I'm like, one of y'all have a choice.
Maybe I should take some time.
The other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was directed at me.
Yeah.
Okay. There is some serious outrage over the Oscar nominations that came out yesterday. Lots of people are very angry about the Barbie snubs. Leading lady Margot Robbie was shut out for Best Actress, as we mentioned, and so was director Greta Gerwig. Sam's not texting emails, just voicing them out loud while we're on the show.
What is
I'm talking about our
happening?
producer. I got some info. Continue.
Oh, I thought you were
she's
writing
on
a
a
text.
walkie-talkie on a chopper. I was just like listening to her talking. Sorry.
While I'm reading. We're on a television show. Okay, so
I got
now we
info.
know who has to leave. All right, so the film's leading man, Ryan Gosling, was nominated, but he's speaking out about the snub. So in his statement, Ryan said, quote, "There is no Ken without Barbie, and there is no Barbie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie. To say that I'm disappointed that they are not nominated in their respective categories would be an understatement." So online, lots of people were posting their own reactions to the snub. Take a look at these crazies.
In the moment where I'm painting Barbie, literally painting Barbie, is when I have to find out that Greta and Margot are snubbed for Oscar noms. Should I smash my face through this?
No shade to Ryan Gosling or anything, but how does Ken get an Oscar nomination for Barbie, but Barbie doesn't get an Oscar nomination for Barbie?
I'm just here to say that Margot Robbie being snubbed by the Oscars is just so typical. They're stereotyping Margot Robbie for being stereotypical Barbie. Yes, I have wine on my shirt.
I have a stereotypical reaction to you, but I won't say it.
Yeah, this is, it's tunnel vision. It's not realizing that you're competing against a number of outstanding films as well, and not understanding that your team isn't always going to win every single thing. Erica, when I hear those statements, it smacks of entitlement, like, oh, well, how does Barbie not get a nomination for Barbie? I don't know. I don't think the guy from The Blind Side got a nomination, but Sandra Bullock did. Sometimes, even though it's about you, the people that are surrounding you get the nod and the nomination, and to instead not be happy for America, to not be happy for Ryan, I think is telling.
I totally agree, and I also want to say I commend Ryan Gosling and America for sticking up for their colleagues. I think that's awesome. But with that said, it's not like Greta Gerwig's never received her flowers like Angela Bassett, right? So she was nominated for an Oscar in 2018 for Lady Bird. She was also for Best Directing, by the way. She was well-deserved. She was also nominated for Little Women for Best Screenplay. So, and she's nominated right now for Best Adapted Screenplay. So I think people need to understand that she is being recognized. If it's not the Oscars, she's being recognized at the SAG Awards. She's being recognized at the Golden Globes. So
and the box office, it made $1 billion.
There's other actors and actresses too, and directors and screenwriters who may have never been recognized and are uber talented.
Most won't.
Yeah.
I think there's some flexibility of thought on this conversation because obviously, anytime award season comes up, there's always going to be people who are celebrated to the max, and then people who their fans are like, how could they possibly have been left out of the equation? Now, the irony of having Barbie not be recognized in the Barbie movie, or the woman who directed the movie not be recognized, but have Ken be recognized, I mean, the jokes literally are writing themselves. And that's probably going to be kind of the nucleus of what the conversation is during Oscar night. Good, bad, or indifferent. I support people supporting their people. And I know it's going to seem unhinged. It might seem like fandom gone awry. I would say, though, if you're going to beg the question or challenge Ryan Gosling to return his Oscar nomination, or America Ferrera to not give her or to not accept her Oscar nomination, would you say that to any of the people who are actually on the list of the people you are cheering for?
Right.
Because essentially, those are the people who took your person's spot.
Right.
And it just doesn't work that way. It's about the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Leonardo DiCaprio not putting my head through a painting like that crazy lady. Calm down.
Not anymore.
Yeah. All right. So Travis Kelce, speaking of crazy, is saying what Taylor really thought about meeting his brother Jason for the first time last Sunday. So if you remember, if you haven't seen this, Jason ripped off his shirt and cheered along with the crowd during the Chiefs-Bills game on Sunday. So on their podcast, the brothers have a podcast together. Travis said Taylor absolutely loved Jason, even though he was shirtless throughout the game. And I'm assuming intoxicated. I'm just putting it out there. But Jason's wife, Kylie, apparently wasn't a fan of his antics. Take a look.
I said, I'm taking my shirt off and I'm jumping out of that suite. And she said, Jason, don't you dare. I was like, hey, just letting you know what's happening. I'm not asking for permission. I'm doing this. And she was already telling me to be on my best behavior because we were meeting Taylor.
This is hilarious.
I was like, Kylie, when I met you, the first day I met you, I was blacked out drunk and fell asleep at the bar. This is part of the charm. This is part of the Jason Kelce charm. I want to make my best first impression. This is my best chance.
My best first impression is the worst impression ever, so I could just build
Set
from
that
that
bar
point
nice
on.
and
Yeah,
low.
exactly.
All right, Al, you got some feelings on this. I have a different feeling. This was his almost famous moment, kind of just having fun, but you think it's deeper.
I do think it's deeper. I think he was having an existential crisis about where his life was at that point. Him retiring from football, this is all he's known for his entire life. And he is now not part of that. His brother is the focal point. His brother is dating the most famous person on the planet. And I think he's wondering who he is, what his next move is. And I think that manifests itself in a huge spectacle, which results in you taking your shirt off and jumping out of a window the first time you meet maybe your future sister-in-law. Erica, you seem to disagree.
Look at my face.
Sorry.
I do. I feel like so many things are so deep. This just doesn't feel like one of them. And I get it. I get it. Like, I understand what you're saying completely. I have gone through a few. I'm no longer in the NFL, NBA, whatever the professional athlete was. I've been in close proximity to those meltdowns, and they are not just meltdowns, they are existential crises. They are quite severe. Generally, that happens when everybody's going off to camp, preseason, things like that, but at this moment in time, I'm saying that you might be giving it a little bit more credit than it's due, because essentially every team that isn't in the running for the Super Bowl at this point is retired. There's no difference.
Even though it's not official that he's retired.
Right. Like, everybody is most players are in the same boat at this juncture. So I just see it as a guy who was like, you know what, my season's over. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get to enjoy this. My brother is dating one of the most famous women in the entire world. I'm going to treat her like I would treat anybody else. Let me go out and have a great time. I don't think that he's like, what am I going to do with my life? The man has multiple endorsements. He has a huge podcast. He going to be okay. Out of everybody, I'm not really concerned about him.
I'm not saying he's not going to be okay. I'm just saying how you identify and how you view yourself as in proximity to the world is a big deal. And having that dissolve while your brother is still on the main stage with the hottest person on the planet could cause you to have an issue.
I like when Al stays on his hill. He won't
Good
leave
for
that.
you, Al.
He won't leave that hill. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Crystal Hefner. She's sharing shocking details about the Playboy Mansion as Hugh Hefner's wife. And the star-studded cast of the miniseries The Feud attends their premiere, and we've got the best looks of the night. That's coming up.
Your can looks like a V8 can in his huge hand.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday when we showed
I thought it was like a V8 can.
No, he has a, yeah,
His hand's that big?
It's interesting that, like, he and his brother are so similar in look and how they think, and they have a great dynamic together, but they're two totally different builds. Almost.
They seem like they have a really good dynamic, though. I've never listened to their.
Funny.
Oh, I should listen because
Yes.
I only see snippets, and every time I see these snippets, they are genuinely laughing.
I think you should watch the documentary because it's not about football really. It's just
About both of them?
Yeah, it's called Kelsey. It's mostly about
The mom?
About Jason, the one that just retired.
Is he better of a player than?
No. But they're both going to be Hall of Famers. But his
Really?
brother
They're
might be
both
the
gonna be
best
wow.
ever.
What?
His brother.
Travis Kelsey's probably one of the best tight ends ever. One of them.
What about Jason Kelsey?
I think when it's
He's
done.
a very good player.
He
as
said
well.
the best ever.
The best center ever? I don't know. About
No. I said Jason will be the best tight end ever. I think there's
Travis is the tight end.
Travis will be the best tight end ever. I think Jason.
Travis is the best tight end ever.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's
Who would
boyfriend
you
is
say?
Tony Gonzalez. I mean, there's
He
others.
shattered his records though.
I don't know if he shattered it.
Tony was a different. Those tight ends were different.
Do you think Travis is the best tight end ever?
No.
Who would you say?
It is hard when you think about it. Like,
It is
Tony
hard because you
Gonzalez,
think way
he played a long
back.
time.
I mean, I think
Really,
Gronk had a better career.
Kellen
than
Winslow. I don't know.
Yeah. You could go way back, but I think Gronkowski had a better career than Travis Kelce.
That's arguable. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got more
Is
championships.
Travis Kelsey is he going to keep playing for a few more seasons? I don't understand.
There's rumors he's going to retire too.
Did I not call it a week ago when everybody called me crazy?
I think he'll keep playing.
I said if he won the Super Bowl.
Are they twins?
No.
Who's older?
Jason.
Jason's older.
Welcome back to DBL. Sam getting caught up with some football knowledge
know.
during the break. Who would
Go
you say the best
Niners.
tight end is, Sam? We just told you.
She's just going to do that.
The best tight end of all time, probably Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Well, that wasn't the answer we came up with.
I
All
hear
right,
it
that
on
was
all the
terrible.
sports shows every
I wish we
morning.
weren't live sometimes, so I'd be like, let's take it from the top. Okay, the cast of the new season of Ryan Murphy's show, Feud, Capote versus the Swans, came out to the premiere last night in New York City. The women included Demi Moore, Naomi Watts, Molly Ringwald, Diane Lane, Chloe Sevigny, and Callista Flockhart. Did I say that right? All looked very Swan-like, wearing a mix of black and white. Oh, they look great.
I think they look
great
amazing.
Photo.
I'm obsessed.
Demi Moore, who is 61, wore this dress
Oh
with a
my
sequin
gosh.
swan in feathers.
Wow.
That's one of my favorite dresses
That's
I've seen all year.
unbelievable.
That's
Same.
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. The
You don't
feather
like that?
moment.
I'm
Oh, I
joking,
was
of course. Naomi Watts carried around this bejeweled swan purse,
I kind of.
which
we're-
Chiron is covering.
There it is.
All right.
You
Oh, it
would
popped up.
buy that.
Love
You
that,
could
Erica.
totally rock
Yep.
that.
All right, Molly Ringwald looked swan-like in this black and white gown with a large white boa.
What is that behind her?
Yeah, they need to move her.
Is that the poster, or
yeah,
is she
that's the
carrying
poster.
it?
It looks like she's carrying, but that's the poster.
That's amazing.
Is it? Where's her right hand?
It looks 3D, you guys. She's carrying that.
Not carrying it. Maybe it's just for a photo op.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it does have a shadow, so it is not.
It's
or
on
maybe
her
it's
shoulder.
painted. Maybe
Look
it's
at
one
her
of those
arms holding
things.
it.
Let's
She's
lean
carrying
to the
it.
side that she's probably not carrying a giant swan head.
No,
Look
it's
at her
hanging.
arm. She's
we'll
holding
get
it.
clarification at the end of the show. And
I'm clear now.
Callista Flockhart wore this black and white gown, and she also told ET that an Ally McBeal reunion might be in the works, but she doesn't know much about it. So she has no idea. And Callista reunited with some of her Ally McBeal co-stars at the Emmys earlier this month, and she said she'd be up for rejoining the cast. We paid for that, so we're going to use it again.
Any Ally McBeal fans up here?
I watched, but I honestly couldn't tell you what it was about.
Sound like a
Something
diehard
about like
fan.
an attorney, right? Is she an attorney? Something
What about
about
the
an
looks?
attorney.
Let's not get distracted.
Okay,
What
the
about the
looks.
looks? What do we?
Obsessed
I
with
like
Demi
the
Moore's.
theme. I like the theme
Me
that
too.
the cast all went like that together.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do when we're nominated.
Oh
for
my gosh,
something.
what is our theme
That's
gonna
a
be?
good one.
Let's
Okay, it's
discuss the theme.
Okay. What would you? I mean, Al Fashion Jackson. What would you want our theme to be?
It's got to be something daytime. So we all got to be.
No.
I'm already thinking roaring 20s. I'm putting it on the table.
Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, like Peaky Blinders.
Those are not the same thing.
Yeah, kind of like the breasted with the watch. I want the watch.
Yes.
I would be down for an all-suit moment.
Like women's suits?
Yes,
suits?
please. Yes,
Yes.
please.
Oh, kind of like Smooth Criminal?
Structured.
Yes, Erica.
Yeah.
Yes, Smooth Criminal.
And we came out
to.
to dun, 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 dun,
I don't know if that's going to fly.
Why?
Because I love Smooth Criminal.
think-
People
Hey,
have
this is our playground. We can do whatever we want.
Okay.
I do have a quick question going back to Ally McBeal for 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Do you think these shows that are rebooted and brought back 10, 20 years later, they don't work because society has changed?
No, but
so it doesn't hit the same?
I think they could change them with society, but I'm over the reboots. Writers need to get more creative and start putting out what they want to. Society is telling people what to write and making Ally McBeal with the times it is now. Rewrite something about your childhood. I don't care what the cast looks like. I don't care what color it is or what sexuality is. Write what you know about. Stop trying to appease everybody.
But in some ways, Ally McBeal was before their time.
True.
Because when you talk about the genderless bathrooms, that was like a sexy thing. And now all of a sudden we're scared about who's in the stall next to us.
There have been unisex bathrooms.
That's her point.
I'm saying that during the time of Ally McBeal, it was like a big thing that everyone would go to the yes.
Oh.
And it was like sexy. And then all of a sudden it became like a political issue and everybody was like,
So now you are knowledgeable about the show.
Al's take
I
was,
remember the bathrooms. I know the show wasn't
Which I'm
about
sure is
the
what the writers
bathroom.
wanted you to take away from
Remember
it.
that whole thing about Oscar talk? That's not happening. I mean, Emmy talk. Whatever. Coming up on DBL, Crystal Hefner is telling us about her new memoir that details what life was like inside the Playboy Mansion.
In the lead up to the New Hampshire primary election, NBC News and other outlets reported that some people in the state received a robocall from a voice that sounded a lot like President Joe Biden.
It's important that you save your vote for the November election.
On the call, it sounds like the president is urging voters not to vote in Tuesday's primary.
Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.
But White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden didn't make those calls.
That call was indeed fake and not recorded by the president.
This faked robocall is one of the most notable examples of artificial intelligence being used to influence voters, and it's not likely to be the last. So, using these sources, here are a few things to listen to help you determine if an election-related call you receive is real or not. Tip 1. Listen for breaths. A real person takes breaths when they talk and makes noise. No audible breaths means you're probably dealing with AI. Tip 2. Is the person's speech cadence off? Are they talking monotone or emphasizing odd words? If it sounds unnatural, that's another red flag. Tip 3. Check more sources. If President Biden were informing his base not to vote, chances are he's going to send that message out on multiple platforms. As for the authenticity of this robocall,
What a bunch of malarkey.
if you receive election-related correspondence that you're unsure about or suspect may have been created using AI, contact Verify. Email us at questions@verifythis.com or send us a text to 202-410-8808. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. Was the world of Playboy a fantasy or a dream for the women in it? Earlier, we spoke with Hugh Hefner's wife, Crystal, who's making headlines by sharing her story in a new memoir.
Crystal, thank you so much for joining us. We were just chatting about the cover. I mean, the cover is so impactful of the book. You have tape over your mouth that says, "Only say good things." Wow.
All right, Crystal, let's jump right. I have so many questions for you. First one, I want to know, why do you think he made you promise to only say good things about him before he died? And I think I know the answer to that. And did Hugh know, because now there's all these shows on A&E, your book, it was kind of the downfall of Hugh Hefner. Did he know that before he died?
He didn't really know before he died. Just I mean, Me Too happened after he died, but before then, I think the Cosby stuff was starting to happen, and he put me on the board of his foundation, and he controlled the narrative of his life for so long. So I think he was afraid of any other opinions or narratives out there.
Well, you say you never loved Hugh, but you married him when you were 26 and he was 86. So out of all the playmates, how did he go about picking you to be his wife?
I'm not sure. I still think about it, and I'm like, what is it? Did I bring him calmness? Like, what was it about me? Maybe because I completely gave myself up to just be whatever he wanted me to be. It could be that.
So what made you initially call off the wedding?
It was hard, and I was feeling like the walls were closing in on me. I felt a little bit trapped. He wanted to film this special that was going to be on Lifetime, where he was making tons of money and gave me a small little talent fee, and I was like, this doesn't feel fair here. I just felt used.
Well, you know, you speak about being used, but also you talk about feeling controlled. He controlled everything from your look to your daily routine. Can you walk us through, and our audience, through just some of the things he would make you do on a daily basis?
And why? Why did he need to do that, in your opinion?
I think I just needed to fill his fantasy he has in his mind. You know, beauty is subjective. It's just whatever he wanted. You know, my nails couldn't be anything but a pale pink. I had to, at all times, make sure I had my hair bleached. If the dark started coming in, he would like tap it for me to go get it dyed. He would tell me wear something more colorful. He would tell me wear the flag, which is the Playboy bunny logo. And yeah, everything was controlled. Everything.
And other playmates have come forward, and they've had shocking claims of their own against Hugh and Playboy, including some alleged criminal acts like sexual assault. How do you feel about their claims, and how do you feel your story is going to help other people tell theirs?
I definitely don't think Hef was a predator, but he was definitely a narcissist, a misogynist, and you know, I completely lost myself to that place and to Hef. And when you don't know who you are, it could be dictated to you by someone else, and that could also be taken away from you. So for me, it's a story of like coming into your power and self-worth and self-love, and you can avoid these things happening to you.
When you wrote your book, I can only imagine how cathartic it was for you, and you probably felt free, maybe for the very first time. But did you ever have in the back of your mind Hugh's voice? What do you think he would say about your book?
I did have that in the back of my mind, but I just hoped that he would be open to it. You know, he was an advocate for First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, so I hope that he would be okay with me using my voice finally.
Well, we appreciate you, Crystal. Thank you for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can pick up your copy of Crystal's book, Only Say Good Things, Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself, at any major bookstore today. Thank you again, Crystal. We appreciate you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All of these cicadas are completely synchronized with one another. So every single 13-year-old cicada emerges from the ground simultaneously, flies around, has a massive party, sheds their exoskeletons, makes a massive mess, and then dies.
Several posts on social media say 2 different types of cicadas will emerge across several states, and they also claim this hasn't happened in 2 centuries. So is this true, and will we see it in North Carolina? Let's verify. Our source is Dawn Flynn, adjunct curator of entomology at the Scheele Museum in Gastonia and the University of Connecticut. Flynn tells us each year in North Carolina, we see a particular type of insect in the summer called the dog day cicada. But this year, we will be greeted by another type of cicada as well, this one called Brood 19.
The periodicals only come out every 13 years.
For 13 years, Brood 19 cicadas have lived underground. Flynn says several states in the southeast, including North Carolina, will see them emerge this summer.
The immatures are underground, feeding on the roots of trees during that period of time, and then at the end of their time underground, they come out and They attach to something that's solid, like the side of a building or a fence post.
There is a third type of cicada that is also expected to emerge this year. Flynn says it is true Brood 13, which has a 17-year life cycle, will come out as well. When combined with the Brood 19s, that will mean billions and billions of cicadas, but only in some parts of the country.
The two broods are going to be meeting together for the first time in 221 years. In the same place, and that's in northern Illinois. Both broods won't meet here.
Thankfully, we won't see Brood 13 in the Carolinas, but we are expected to see more activity because we should get the Brood 19 insects alongside with our annual Dog Day cicadas. And that high-pitched sound they all make, that's just their mating call.
There's nothing you can really do because there's so many of them. They're going to be in the trees, and the males are the ones that make all the noise, that sing for the females.
So we can verify that, yes, two types of long dormant cicadas, Brood 19 and Brood 13, will emerge in some states, but only Brood 19 will emerge here. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bryan.
Welcome back. If you're looking to control joint pain, exercise can definitely help. And experts say what time you go to the gym matters. Exercising in the morning can improve your sleep cycle and burn more fat during the day. So I want to know, what time of day do you guys work out? Anytime? Or
Mornings.
Set time. You are.
Gotta do the mornings. Yeah, otherwise it's not gonna happen.
That's discipline though, to get up every morning, get that done. And sometimes I'm not, and I got to do it in the evening.
Back in the day, it was morning. Now I like it in the evening because it gives me a little break from being a mom. So I peace out, go to yoga, and then I come back right before bedtime.
That's smart. For me, I'm morning, because in afternoon, that's over. So
What
if
about
it doesn't
you?
happen before 9
Sometimes
o'clock.
I like to work out in the morning, and then I go in the morning. Something that can help with joint pain any time of day are hand signals and Omega XL. It's a powerful joint support that's helped millions of consumers and is backed by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-814-6985 or visit OmegaXL.com for more information.
Yes.
Sam, you want to land this plane and take us out? See you tomorrow. Boop, boop, that's a truck.